Chairman and rest of the family who's joining us this evening for a special meeting of the Bennington Select Board. It's Monday, February 4th, 2019. I'm Tom Jacobs and have the pleasure of chairing the meeting tonight. The purpose of the meeting is to have a public hearing on proposed amendments to the Charter of the Town of Bennington, Sections 103-407, which deals specifically with a mayoral form of government. But before we start, I'd like to commence these meetings with a Pledge of Allegiance. After I introduce, go ahead.
Good evening, Jean Connor.
Hi, I'm Donald Campbell.
Hello, I'm Jeannie Jenkins.
Good evening, Chad Gordon.
Nancy Ladden, Secretary.
Great.
And Stuart Hurd, Town Manager.
And Jim Carroll is not able to be here tonight, and I also don't believe Carson Thurber is going to be here tonight either. So if we could initiate the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, I will start it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, folks that came out this evening. It's a mild evening after last week's lack of mild temperatures. But the groundhog said we were going to have an early spring, so I'm counting, at least I'm going to vote in favor of that. So what we'll start the meeting with is a reading of the warning that was published, and I'm going to turn to, can you feel up to reading these?
Do you want to mention the sign-up sheet again? Or?
Yeah, I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay. Notice of public hearing, proposed amendments to the Charter of the Town of Bennington. Notice is herewith given that the Select Board shall hold public hearings at the above time, dates, and place to hear comments on the following amendment to the Charter of the Town of Bennington proposed by petition. A new section is proposed to be added to the Bennington Charter, 24 VSA, Chapter 103, as follows. Section 103-407, Mayoral Form of Government. A. In lieu of a town manager, the voters may adopt a mayoral form of government by vote at a duly warned annual meeting, warned pursuant to a petition signed by 5% of the voters or on the Select Board's own motion. Once a vote in favor of this form of government is successful, the voters shall elect a mayor at the next annual meeting for a 3-year term. Once the mayor takes office, the town manager's system of governance shall end for Bennington. B. The mayor shall be responsible for the management of the administrative affairs of the town in the same manner and with the same powers and responsibilities as the town manager, as stated in statute and this charter. C. The mayor shall have the powers to veto any action of the Select Board. D. The Select Board shall have the authority to override the mayor's veto by a vote of 5 members of the board taken at a regular meeting. Within 30 days of the vote to override, voters may petition for a binding referendum on the issue by a petition signed by 5% of the voters. At a special meeting held within 60 days of the receipt of the petition, the voters shall decide whether to uphold the mayor's veto. E. The compensation for the mayor shall be set by the Select Board based on comparable salaries and benefits for a town manager. F. The mayor shall serve as the voice of the town of Bennington, taking responsibility for implementing the policies of the Select Board, leading the town toward greater prosperity and a healthy economy and a better life for all its residents. Dated this 16th day of January 2019.
Thank you, Donald. We are ready to proceed and listen to comments from anyone that would like to speak. You need to identify yourself, and that would be for the record. Have in mind that this statute requires, as I understand it, a hearing this week, and also we'll have it on the agenda as a public hearing portion of the agenda next month.
There are 2 public hearings required by statute.
Yeah. So this is the first one that we're dealing with this evening. So anyone that would like to be recognized, feel free to step up to the mic. Sure, please, Nancy. Yeah, go ahead. Good evening, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy White. I just wanted to go over, a lot of people are confused about the steps. This will be a 3-step process. The first step next month, a yes vote will only add this into the charter. Shall Bennington adopt a mayoral form of government? It will sit in the charter. Nothing will happen until the vote next year. Next year, we will vote if we want to switch from a town manager form of government to a mayor form of government. If that is a yes vote, the third year will be when we will elect a mayor. The whole point why many of us want a mayor is we feel that the citizens of this town, especially the taxpayers, have not been heard. Over the last decade, an awful lot of information that we used to get in a timely manner has not been given to us. We're paying for far too many things today that we never paid for 20 years ago and shouldn't be paying for now. The good thing about a yes vote next month will mean people in Bennington will have a whole year to watch the meetings, to listen to see what we find out about what's going on in Bennington. People can decide, do they think the town is going in the right direction? If they don't, next year when it's on the ballot, they can vote to move the mayor forward. Last year we heard 3 things: that a mayor would have too much power. That has been changed. Now there will be checks and balances between the select board, the mayor, and the citizens. It's a win-win situation for everybody, and it starts to get the citizens, especially the taxpayers, it starts to give us our voice back. The other thing we heard, that a mayor would be a popularity contest. For those of us who own homes, it will not be a popularity contest. Many of us are struggling to pay our taxes today. We will not be able to afford our homes in a decade. We need somebody who will stop spending our money. We do not have the money to spend, and yet every time we turn around, there's a new project, a new program, a new group that the town can't live without. But what people need to understand is everybody isn't paying their share. It is the taxpayers of this community who are paying our share, and we're helping to pay for who can't. Transparency and accountability. I heard that from people. They wanted more of that from local officials. The salt shed remains a thorn in the side of many people of this town. We're still waiting to find out who will pay the fine, who is paying the lawyer negotiating between the town and the state on the salt shed. Is there a lawyer being paid to do that?
This is your comments, not ours. Okay?
I asked Mr. Campbell last week if we would get answers. He said we would.
Well, guess what? I'm chairing this meeting. This is your opportunity for comments.
And say this is why we need a mayor.
Yeah.
Prior to a decade ago, Vermont was about the citizens. Our elected officials listen to the citizens.
We had this
I'm
discussion.
stunned, but it's stunned to watch the meetings where citizens talk. You don't want to answer questions. I don't want to argue, I just want an answer.
Guess what? Your opportunity tonight is to comment. There are 2 hearings. The next hearing, you will hear comments from the school.
But I'm trying to get, you are our elected officials. I entrust my tax dollars to you.
This is not a public hearing for the purpose of dialogue between the select board and yourself. This is for the citizens to make their comments relative to this ballot item, and nothing more.
But I'm sorry, when did public hearings not allow you to give us an answer?
We don't have answers.
You don't know if we're paying for a lawyer for the salt shed?
It's not germane to this discussion.
It's not
This is
germane
about the
at all to
mayor's
this, yes.
ballot. Sorry to interrupt, but this
Please.
is about the mayor's ballot.
Yeah.
And this is about the ballot question. That is not germane to the ballot question.
But I'm trying to give examples. Roll your eyes. Okay, well, here's a couple other comments that people are concerned about.
This is appropriate. Please continue.
I'm sorry?
Please continue.
I couldn't hear you.
The comments, that's why we're here. Let's hear your comments.
You don't want comments?
No, yes, please.
Okay,
comment.
I'm sorry. We've gone from the lowest water and sewer rates to the highest. I think when people find out that the $10 million bond is going to be kicking in on our water and sewer bills this year, I think more people will choose a mayor. Again, we're not seeing the budget cut back, but we're going to be paying more for water and sewer. Many people are concerned about the YMCA. I hope it goes well, but if it doesn't, the Select Board has made it clear they will make the decisions about the future of the Y. People are concerned about that. This is a copy of the townwide survey that was done a few months ago. Not one question on the survey was asked to the taxpayers. On the survey a few years ago, not one question was asked to the local taxpayers. I'm sorry? Oh, I thought you said something.
Folks in the back.
I asked last summer, where is the town putting in bike paths? I think it's only fair that we know if you're going to take away parking that has been allowed on public streets for 100 years, citizens have a right to know. Dan said there were no plans. I had people call me from Benmont Avenue saying Dan had talked to them about bike paths. I went online and I found a list that there's many bike paths planned for Bennington. Again, I just want to get information so we have a chance to say something rather than you dropping a project on us as a done deal. The Bennington Community Visit. I brought this up in the past. Done in 2012, where a couple hundred residents got together with the Rural Economic Development Committee. I think it was a good idea. I think it was a good start. But it certainly seems as though you have used this to plan the future of Bennington. I asked why you haven't set time aside at meetings over each year since then to go over the priorities. Your answer to me was, did I attend the meetings? I can guarantee you that 95% of the people in this town have no idea what the priorities are. Again, that's your responsibility to give us this information. This is information that the boards used to give us prior to a decade ago. So, I guess if you don't understand what your role is to the citizens of this town, this is why I want to get a mayor. I want a mayor that will hold the select board accountable to the citizens. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Are there other members of the public that would like to speak to the ballot item? There we go.
Hi, guys.
Good evening. Good.
Aaron Sawyer. I'm just a little bit confused, and I wanted to understand a bit better who you mean by taxpayers in Bennington.
Okay. I think, Aaron, we can't have a dialogue between the citizens. We have that same, restiveness tonight.
At the end of the day, I think the system we're using right now works. It may be flawed, it may be a bit slower than people want, but I think it works. And I think we need to worry about electing members to the select board if you'd like to see change rather than flip the system on its head. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Aaron. Other folks that would like to address the ballot item? This is a hearing for that particular purpose, and it is to hear comments from the citizens of the town of Bennington. Hearing none, I would like a motion to adjourn until Monday, the 11th, at the same time, 6 p.m. at the facility. Could I have a motion for that?
So move.
Second.
Second. Discussion on that. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
That's 5 in favor and no one abstaining from it. Thank you.